Hey everybody, I'm Corey.
And I'm Dana.
And today we're here to talk about our cruise review on Norwegian EPIC.
So recently we had the opportunity to take a cruise on the Norwegian EPIC. And before we get into our review, we just kind of wanted to give you a little bit of information about our room and different stuff like that, so you know a little bit about our trip. So first of all, we were sailing out of Orlando, and we were going on a 7-night cruise to the Western Caribbean. We went to Nassau in the Bahamas, we went to Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, and we went to NCL's private island, Great Stirrup Cay. Our room was a mini suite, and it was actually a guarantee. So a little bit about how you may have heard NCL works. So they have a program called Free at Sea. And basically what happens is with the majority of their rooms, when you book, you get to pick from certain packages that will be included free with what you pay. So with your fare. So for example, you could have unlimited alcoholic beverages, free shore excursions, free Wi-Fi. There's several different things to pick from. So what I like about NCL is they offer something called a sail away rate. And so a sail away rate offers you the opportunity to take the same cruise as everybody else, but for cheaper, and it won't include the unlimited alcohol, the shore excursions, everything, you know, you'll have to pay for separately if you choose to do that. So I would encourage you to look at the kind of things you like to do and what you want to spend, to decide which way is best for you. So what we get is a sail away rate. And one thing I do want to mention, because this is important, with the sail away rate, you don't get to pick your cabin. So what you end up having to do is you pick the type of cabin you want. So we picked the mini suite, but we didn't get to say anything about what location it was going to be in. That sail away rate saved us about $1,000. We did look out. We got a great cabin. We were on the 10th floor, and it was right next to the aft elevators and the stairs, which makes it great from getting from floor to floor. Kind of how we like to do our review is we like to start off with the negative first. This boat is and then lead into
get them on
positive.
Out the way.
Yeah, let's just get it all out the way and end on a positive note.
Embarkation. And the embarkation was awful. It was too many people for that port side. So we were all being jam-packed into this one room. There was just like a giant cattle call to try and get on this ship. And there was reasons behind that. The reason was for the delay for us getting on board was because the previous ship that was on Norwegian EPIC was called the Holy Ship EMD charter cruise, and apparently they tore the ship up. And there was a lot of cleaning that they had to do, and someone got arrested, I think, is what we heard while we were waiting.
Something about drugs. I don't know, but that's kind of what I was hearing. So, officers coming to the port.
Right,
and stuff.
exactly.
It was crazy.
The thing is like there wasn't anybody from Norwegian EPIC that was going through and telling anybody this information while we were sitting there waiting, so we didn't know what was going on. And at one point, I was thinking that it was probably a fire hazard.
And they actually stopped people from being able to come into the building. I want to start off with the actual bathroom, with the side that had the toilet in it. So for me, as you can see, I'm broad-shouldered, and so that space was pretty narrow. Getting in the door was tight, but actually being in there was pretty narrow. And the way the space is set up is the largest space is actually back by your arms, which is great, but then it curves forward to the front. So what that means is when you sit down, if your normal way to sit is with your knees up, but the room actually gets smaller towards your knees, you have to pull them in and hold them closer together while using the bathroom. Otherwise, you're pushing on the glass door with your knee. Not only that, but when I know this is it's too much information, TMI, but when I was sitting there, my husband could actually see my foot hanging out of the side of the door. So just imagine if my foot can hang from underneath the door. I mean, obviously there's absolutely no smell control in there. And as you were saying about the tub.
What I was saying about the tub?
Yeah.
Oh, just the fact that there's a large lip that you have to step over. You have to hold on to this bar and lift and get into the tub. You have to really lift up your leg pretty high to step into the tub, in and out of the tub. Like, I just think that that's ridiculous. I don't know who they think is actually going to feel comfortable doing that on a regular basis.
Every room doesn't have a tub in it.
Right.
So let's say
Not
that.
every room has a tub.
So that's one of the things that when you're picking out a room, either you can go on NCL's site and you can see which rooms have showers, which ones have tubs.
Mm-hmm.
You can also work, if you use a travel agent, you can go in there and see which rooms have showers and tubs. So I didn't hate the tub.
I didn't hate the tub.
I was just concerned about getting in and out of it. The ship is moving. So yeah, if you have mobility issues or balance issues, you just want to make sure you're careful and use the handrails to get in and out. It's not impossible, but it's definitely going to be higher than what you're used to.
It's definitely a challenge. There was one deck, I think.
So,
the main deck of 15, I think is what it was, and then you have a jogging track, I guess, or whatever, up on the top deck above that, which was deck 16. And then there was another small deck that was a smoking deck where the lifeboats were.
Deck 7.
On deck 7.
And it was only smoking on one side.
Yeah, it was only smoking on one side. That's it. There was no other decks for you to just go outside and just relax and enjoy the outdoors. Everything else is inside. And you don't see any windows.
That's what I was going to say. It's not inside with windows. It's inside with inside.
Right.
So I feel like anybody, if this is your first cruise or you have somebody who's going to cruise with you who
might be a little bit claustrophobic,
this is
or it's
not
really
the ship for them.
This is not the ship for them.
No.
It does not feel open.
It isn't.
It doesn't feel I'm like, even if all the venues or some of the venues were inside, it just doesn't feel as, open spaced. It just feels really tight. I don't know who thought it was such a good idea that after the sun goes down, that it's okay for you to take up all the loungers that are outside so you can't sit outside anymore. That's horrible.
They are the only cruise ship that I have been on that puts all the deck chairs
all of them just stacked up.
So like Royal Caribbean will put them away, but they leave some out, so it's not all of them. And then Royal Caribbean will put some up to clean and put them back. There was nobody cleaning anything on an NCL. They put them up every night. They even put them up where they, in the adult area where they had the outdoor party, H2O, Spice H2O.
The outdoor party. That was like 4 people dancing.
But they even put those chairs up. And when people go to clubs and parties, they just like to sit down somewhere. So
exactly.
It was just
bad.
This was something that made me really uncomfortable. Imagine my surprise when we are getting on the ship and we walk in and they're playing music, right? It's like, oh yeah, well, it is the unedited version of all the songs. So I'm walking in and 50 Cent is saying MFer. And then later on, walking around the ship and Jay-Z is yelling out the N-word. Now, I don't have anything against anybody's music and what they want to listen to. And I listen to 50 Cent and I listen to Jay-Z. Mm-hmm. However, I'm going to be honest, as one of the few Black people, African American people on this particular ship for this journey, obviously we were in the minority, I did feel uncomfortable with it. It was their children up there. I don't know. I mean, I play the music, but there are edited versions of these songs allowed. So I just thought it made me uncomfortable.
The food was actually really good.
Very good.
I really, really enjoyed the food. We ate at Taste for several of our meals. It was very, very tasty. I remember the chicken parmesan that we had for dinner one night, the cheesesteak I think that I had, and the nachos the very first day. That was really good. Along with Taste, the buffet was actually good. The breakfast and the buffet was actually really, really good. I really enjoyed that. Yeah,
overall, generally, we found more options that we enjoyed. Versus those that we didn't, because we've certainly been on cruises where we pretty much spent the whole time eating sandwiches or just the same thing over and over because the variety wasn't there, or things that were described one way didn't taste the way we were used to them. But actually, I would rate NCL up there in terms of having good food.
I thought that our room steward was nice. For most part, we didn't really see him that much. But whenever we did see him, I thought he was nice. Even on embarkation day when he's having to deal with the crazy crews from before and having to clean up all that stuff from back then and rush to get everybody's room ready by 1:30 or whatever time it was, he still had a really nice attitude about himself, even though I know if I was him, I probably would have strangled everybody.
Oh, he probably did. Our absolute favorite part of the ship, tell me if you don't agree, but it was the spa.
Oh, okay? Yes.
So if you have an opportunity to purchase a spa cabin and you want to pay the price for it, get it. Or if you want to do like we did and purchase a spa pass separately, you can do that as well. Now, earlier I told you how we saved about $1,000 using the sail away. We turned around and had to spend, I think, about $400 of that for a spa pass. The spa, I think, is open from like 8 to 10 every day. And it has Theralasso. I'm going to pronounce this wrong. Theralasso.
We'll say that. Yeah, Theralasso
pool. Yeah. Now it's funny because a lot of people hear the word pool and they think cold water. So no, this is actually warm mineral water.
Yeah.
And it actually there was a bench that you could sit on where the water would bubble up behind you. There was, and I have to look it up because I don't know what the round one was called, but that one had a lot of strength and would kind of move you around and bubble real hard. And then they had individual pods you could stand in that had massagers in them. And then in the middle of the whole thing, they had like waterfalls. So you could stand under waterfalls and do that. I want that in my house. It was nice.
Yeah, it was very nice. It's nice to just hear the water, and it was warm, and it was like a giant whirlpool. It was never crowded.
Never.
They had heated loungers in there you could just lay on. You had your sauna, you had your steam room, you had the outdoor seating that was in the back of the spa.
So they didn't take those chairs up.
What's that?
They didn't take those chairs up.
No, they didn't take those chairs up. Thank God.
Because we would go out there sometimes and just sit on, because it's in the aft of the ship.
Oh, yeah.
And you could just sit out there in the aft and hear the ocean and the wind.
Oh, yeah.
Blowing.
It was right
you could just sit out back on the lounge chair.
Yeah, it was great. Nice, dim light. It was amazing.
I really enjoyed live music. Some of the cruise ships are moving away from live music. I don't know if they don't think we notice, but we notice. Like, I feel like when you're out on the Lido deck and you're just walking around, during the day, there should be live music. I mean, I know we're old people when it comes to cruising, and we've seen a lot of change over the years, and we've gone along with it, and it's fine. But the live music, I missed that. So I was kind of disappointed they didn't. Not disappointed. I was very happy that that's something they have definitely kept. Whereas I've seen other cruise lines kind of move away from it, but they had live music, all over, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was nice.
One other thing that I have to talk about, my favorite and most fun time was doing the water slides. So they had 3 water slides. They had a green one, a purple one, and a orange/yellow one. And the green one was just like a regular water slide that was closed in and then half of the way and then opened the other half of the way. Then you had the purple slide, which was kind of like a speed slide is what I would call it. And it was completely closed in and dark the entire time. And then you had the orange/yellow slide, which we call the toilet bowl, that had the giant opening in the middle of it. So you start out, you're enclosed just a little bit, and then you come out into this giant open area. And then, just kind of swim around, look like you're in a toilet bowl, then you go through a hole, you come down at the bottom, and you're in an inner tube on that one. And I was hooping and hollering.
You had fun.
I did. I think I rode each one like twice. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that I did.
You had a good old time.
And it was a lot of fun.
Walking up all those stairs.
Yeah, it was a lot of stairs getting up. Walking up all these steps. A lot of stairs. I even let some kids go up in front of me because I was like, hold on a minute, I need to pause for a minute and breathe.
It's not about how fast you get there, it's just that you get there.
Yeah, it's just that I get there, whatever. And I really, really enjoyed those water slides. I highly recommend them if you want to try those.
There is a storage container underneath the sink in there, and nobody knows what it's for. Is it for garbage? Nobody knows to do it. So just so you know, it is for wet towels. So it's a plastic bin, you'll pull it out, it's pretty big, and you can put your towels in there. NCL, we didn't have any problems with hangers.
Yeah.
But I am broad-shouldered, and a lot of my clothes off those wooden hangers that you'll see sometimes at hotel rooms and on this ship, the arms will just slide off and my clothes will end up in the floor.
Yeah.
So at home I use the flocked hangers, so the ones that look like they have velvet on them and it keeps stuff from sliding. So I usually put a few of those in my suitcase, and that helps so that I hang my clothes up that way and it keeps them from falling out.
Bring some tape, some masking tape or something like that. I use a CPAP machine, and then if you have a lot of devices or anything like that you want to plug into an extension cord, not a power strip, but an extension cord that you need to drape across the room. The tape is really nice so that you can lay across the extension cord and not trip over it.
You never know when you're going to have to MacGyver something.
Yeah, you just never know.
Bring
if you
tape.
need to hang something, whatever,
It could be anything, yeah.
Tape, bring some tape. A nice little roll of masking tape would do some good.
So overall, I mean, we didn't have a horrible time.
No.
Will we cruise Epic again? Probably not.
I couldn't tell you no.
Will we cruise NCL again? Sure. Yes.
Depends on the price and the deal.
And where they're
and
selling
where it's going.
from. Yeah. Oh, selling from.
And where it's selling from.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, overall it wasn't horrible, but it's not one that I would personally recommend to anyone. But again, everybody likes different things, and so it may be something of interest to you. But this was just our personal take on it. So I hope we've been at least helpful a little bit.
Hope we gave you some tips and good idea of what to expect from Norwegian EPIC.
If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments, and we'll do our best to check them.
Put them in the comments.
And also, we're kind of new, but if you will go ahead and hit that subscribe button, we are working to put out our travels and a lot of the things we do and to share them with you guys.
Yep.
So that way you can be notified when we put out something new.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks.
Bye.
Do these rides have weight limits?